We were at the chemical agents, the diseases which are caused by chemical agents. Means the chemical agents can also cause diseases. For example, you can see the industries, the factories, they release harmful gases while manufacturing various things. They release chemicals. They release harmful chemicals in water. For example, mercury is there. Ag, there is cadmium, there is lead, sorry, it's Pb, there is lead. They all cause severe diseases in our body. There is copper. If excessive copper goes into any of these chemicals, not only copper, if excessive cadmium, if excessive mercury, if excessive lead goes into them water, all these chemicals accumulate in our body and cause severe diseases. Harmful gases, for example SO2, sulfur dioxide, that goes into the upper atmosphere, and there it reacts with the oxygen or water vapors. It can react with and form the harmful, very very harmful acidic gas that is called as sulfuric acid, and which causes then this acid rain, and the effects of acid rain you have already read. That's too harmful for every living organism on the face of earth. So these were let me recapitulate. We first learned in our first topic, we learned about the health, that's physical, mental, social well-being of a person, and not merely the absence of a disease. Then we came across what is disease, what is illness, and then what were the causative agents of the diseases. There were biological agents or pathogens, there were nutrient deficiencies, there were these physical agents that were present in our environment, and there were the chemical agents. Now here comes the next topic of your chapter, that is the types of diseases. There are various types of diseases. We can learn here a few of them, but apart from these four, there are huge number of diseases. Let's learn first one by one. Man, 4 types of disease you need to remember, and according to your syllabus, what you have to remember are acute diseases, chronic diseases, congenital diseases, and acute diseases. They are further of 2 types. Acute are further of 2 types, infectious and non-infectious diseases. You are learning here the types of diseases. Now the first one is acute disease. What actually this acute disease is? Acute disease means which shows that disease which shows quick symptoms in our body, that has a fast recovery rate, and it is short term. Now you can better cite an example of common cold here. Common cold is there, and this allergies are there. They have the quick symptoms. If we get allergy on our skin or in any portion of our body, in our internal tissues, for example in our stomach or anywhere else, that shows quick symptoms. Allergy shows quick symptoms. For example, when we get cold, common cold, it shows quick symptoms: running nose or dryness of a respiratory tract. And these are quick symptoms. It has also the fast recovery. We take medicines and that's recovered fastly. That cannot be actually called as a disease, and it is short term. It does not remain with us for years, for months, and for centuries. Now here is the second type of disease, that's called as chronic disease. What chronic disease is? You please try to differentiate between these two, then you can better understand. Whenever we will read these diseases, you differentiate between these two and try to differentiate between these two. Compare these two diseases, you can better remember then. Acute disease shows quick symptoms, but chronic disease does not show any immediate effect. It does not show any quick symptoms. Acute disease has fast recovery, but it does not. Chronic disease does not have fast recovery. It damages our tissues, and this acute disease is long term, but chronic disease is not long. Chronic disease is long term, but acute disease is short term. Here we can cite, and here we cited the example of common cold, but here we can cite an example of cancer and AIDS. All other disease, for example tuberculosis, that's a chronic disease that does not recover fast, that does not show symptoms fast, that damages our lung tissues. For example, tuberculosis, TB. When any person gets tuberculosis does not recover so shortly, not in a short term, but it damages the lung tissue of that person. If appropriate treatment was there, then it will recover, but it will take time. For example, cancer is there. First, the patient has no immediate effects. It stays for longer. This cancer, you all can better understand, as it is the prevailing situation everywhere in the world now. And when a person gets cancer, he does not show any immediate effects until it has damaged our tissues, internal tissues, then only it can be detected in later stages. So you will remember here, the chronic disease are long term, they have no immediate effects, and they damage our tissues, and they are very, very serious. They are very, very severe conditions. And now remains the congenital and acute. Try to compare between these two